Let us study how the Israelites celebrate these 7 special Sabbaths according to God's command, starting with the Passover or Pascua, also known as the Feast of Unleavened Bread, the God-given Christmas Day. In Ezekiel chapter 45, verses 21, in the first month of the 14th day you are to observe the Passover, a feast lasting 7 days, during which you shall eat bread made without yeast. Verse 25, during the 7 days of the feast, which begins in the 7th month on the 15th day, he is to make the same provisions for sin offerings, burnt offerings, grain offerings, and oil. Did you notice in verse 21 that say, in the first month on the 14th day you are to observe the Passover? But in verse 25 say, during the 7 days of the feast, which begins in the 7th month on the 15th day. This seems to be the most confusing in all of the feast days or holidays. Understanding God-given Jewish calendar, you will easily understand also the Passover or the God-given Christmas Day. The statement in verse 25 is correct as well as in verse 21. It is the same month on the same days of celebration. Passover or Pascua and the Feast of Unleavened Bread are the same one God-given Christmas Day celebration. Compare the Feast of Trumpets, God-given New Year's Day in Leviticus 23, verses 23 to 24. The Lord said to Moses, say to the Israelites, on the first day of the 7th month, you are to have a day of rest, a sacred assembly commemorated with trumpet blasts. Isn't it New Year's supposed to start on the first day of the first month? It is. The month of Tisri is the first month in God-given Hebrew calendar as used in their government transactions. But during the first Passover celebrations in Egypt, prior to their departure going to the Promised Land, and from then on for religious feast celebrations, Tisri or September-October become the 7th month, and the 7th month, Abib or Nisan, March-April, become the first month as commanded by God through Moses and Aaron. In Exodus 12:2, this month is to be for you the first month of your year. That is why in Ezekiel 45:21 and verse 25, the first month and the 7th month was mentioned for the month of Abib. It was called Nisan later. But what about the 14th day and 15th day of Nisan that was mentioned also? The 14th day is the preparation day for the first day of the Feast of Unleavened Bread that falls on Nisan 15 and end on the 21st day. The 15th and the 21st are both special Sabbath holidays. Working and cooking is unauthorized. On the sunset of the 14th day begins the day of preparation for the Feast of Unleavened Bread. Remember, night comes first, sunset to sunset. On this evening of the 14th at sunset, they eat their traditional Passover meal, a lamb without defect. They call it Passover dinner, but it's not a high Sabbath. They were still allowed to work and cook on this day of preparation for the Passover feast or the first day of the Feast of the Unleavened Bread, which is a high Sabbath. This showed that Matthew 26:17 was wrongly translated. Eating the traditional Passover meal is done on the evening, a day before the first day of the Feast of Unleavened Bread, which is a high Sabbath. In Matthew 23:17, on the first day of the Feast of Unleavened Bread, the disciples came to Jesus and asked, where do you want us to make preparations for you to eat the Passover? Exodus 12:1-30. The Lord said to Moses and Aaron in Egypt, this month is to be for you the first month of your year. Tell the whole community of Israel that on the 10th day of this month, each man is to take a lamb for his family, one for his household. If any household is too small for a whole lamb, they must share one with their nearest neighbor, having taken into account the number of people there are. You are to determine the amount of lamb needed in accordance with what each person will eat. The animals you choose must be year-old males without defect, and you may take them from the sheep or the goats. Take care of them until the 14th day of the month, when all the people of the community of Israel must slaughter them at twilight. Then they are to take some of the blood and put it on the sides and tops of the door frames of the houses where they eat the lamb. That same night they are to eat the meat roasted over the fire, along with bitter herbs and bread made without yeast. Do not eat the meat raw or cooked in water, but roast it over the fire, head, legs, and inner parts. Do not leave any of it till morning. If some is left till morning, you must burn it. This is how you are to eat it. With your cloak tucked into your belt, your sandals on your feet, and your staff in your hand. Eat it in haste. It is the Lord's Passover. On that same night, I will pass through Egypt, and strike down every firstborn, both men and animals. And I will bring judgment on all the gods of Egypt. I am the Lord. The blood will be a sign for you on the houses where you are. And when I see the blood, I will pass over you. No destructive plague will touch you when I strike Egypt. This is a day you are to commemorate for the generations to come. You shall celebrate it as a festival to the Lord, a lasting ordinance. For 7 days you are to eat bread made without yeast. On the first day remove the yeast from your houses. For whoever eats anything with yeast in it from the first day to the seventh must be cut off from Israel. It means you shall not commit any sins in those days. Verse 16. On the first day hold a sacred assembly, and another one on the seventh day. Do no work at all on these days except to prepare food for everyone to eat. That is all you might do. Celebrate the Feast of Unleavened Bread, because it was on this very day that I brought your divisions out of Egypt. Celebrate this day as a lasting ordinance for the generations to come. In the first month you are to eat bread made without yeast from the evening of the 14th day until the evening of the 21st day. For 7 days no yeast is to be found in your houses. And whoever eats anything with yeast in it must be cut off from community of Israel, whether he is an alien or native born. Eat nothing made without yeast. Wherever you live, you must eat unleavened bread. Then Moses summoned all the elders of Israel and said to them, Go at once and select the animals for your families, and slaughter the Passover lamb. Take a bunch of hyssop, dip it into the blood in a basin, and put some of the blood on the top and on both sides of the doorframe. Not one of you shall go out the door of his house until morning. When the Lord goes through the land to strike down the Egyptians, he will see the blood on the top and sides of the doorframe, and will pass over that doorway, and he will not permit the destroyer to enter your houses and strike you down. Obey these instructions as a lasting ordinance for you and your descendants. When you enter the land that the Lord will give you as he promised, observe this ceremony. And when your children ask you, What does this ceremony mean to you? Then tell them, It is the Passover sacrifice to the Lord, who passed over the houses of the Israelites in Egypt, and spared our homes when he struck down the Egyptians. Then the people bowed down and worshipped. The Israelites did just what the Lord commanded Moses and Aaron. At midnight the Lord struck down all the firstborn in Egypt, from the firstborn of Pharaoh, who sat on the throne, to the firstborn of the prisoner who was in the dungeon, and the firstborn of all the livestock as well. Pharaoh and all his officials and all the Egyptians got up during the night, and there was loud wailing in Egypt, for there was not a house without someone dead.